Hello everyone, it's Christine from London Gifties, and I thought we could do a bit of painting today. So I'm going to be using these supplies, which are a couple of brushes from different brands, 2 glasses of water, and these are my watercolors. These are just the samples of the ones that I make, so it's just a bit messy, but yeah, these are the paints that I'm choosing to use today. And maybe I'm going to use these micron pens, but I'm not too sure because I don't know what I'm going to create yet. So yeah, let's begin. I have pre-mixed a couple of colors, which are a bit purplish. I'm adjusting the tone that I'd like to get. And what I'm going to do is these little kind of flyaway heart-shaped flower buds that I want on one side, on the right-hand side page. So I'll be writing. This is my sort of diary journal, so I'm going to be writing on the left side and I'm going to be painting on the right side. So just, jazz it up a little bit and make it a bit more exciting. Again, this is a typo journal. This paper is not the best for watercolors, clearly because it's a journal paper, it's not a watercolor paper. However, I just wanted to spice it up. I don't expect amazing quality from paper that is not meant for watercolors. So I'm just having some fun here, really. And that's it. Obviously, it's nothing to compare it with thicker papers or Hobonichi. So yeah, I'm just drawing the stems now, painting the stems now. And it's just a bit of, willy-nilly painting. It's just whatever comes into mind. Not following anything in particular. And now I'm adding a couple of leaves here and there. I don't think I chose the best tone for the stems and leaves. It's a bit kind of like a musty green, kind of washed out green tone, but it'll do. So I'm adding the leaves here and there. There's no rhyme or reason of why, how I'm adding them. I'm just adding them. I'm just mixing in a bit of different tone of green into my stem green because I simply wanted to have it a bit more dark. And I'm adding a bit of deep red, like passion red, and I'm going to add some more flowers because I thought it just looks a bit too bland. And again, these are the same shape of like flyaway heart-shaped flower buds. They're just whatever comes into my mind, really. I'm dipping into a bit of nice yellow. And adding a little accent sort of on the bottom of the flowers. Just again to just spice it up a little bit. And I'm adding now the yellow to the green. I'm going to make these stems for these ones a bit more pop. Again, it's super messy. That's fine. Adding a bit more leaves for these flowers, for the second batch of reddish flowers. Mixed up, as I said, a bit of green, a bit of yellow for more lively leaves. And yeah, seeing where it goes. Yep, now the page looks nice and full and quite busy, but I'm trying to make it even more full and busy. So yeah, I think it looks okay. So now I just waited a little bit for them to dry. So stop the video and now I'm going to another spread. As you can see, yeah, the paint came through quite a lot, which is not ideal, but again. So I'm going to do a bit of different type of flowers on this one. So the same on the right hand side, I'm going to make the flowers. On the left hand side, I'm going to make the drawings. Again, this is a very faintly kind of like pinkish peachy tone. It's not very well visible, I think, on this paper and on this camera. So I do apologize for that. But however, I did try my best. So I'm just adding these simple 4-leafed flowers. So I'm filling up the brush. I think it's a Princeton styler's brush or some sort. Filling up the brush and then kind of sliding it with the belly touching the page. So making 4 simple leaves with just a bit of connections to it, so it looks like a bit of a light streaming onto them. I hope you can see at least something, because I do apologize. The tone is what it is. So I'm dipping into a bit more pink, like brighter pink now. I'm adding a little accents on the middle and the end bit of the petals of these flowers, just to have it a bit more, you know, kind of a nice accent to it. So I'm dipping into now a bit of more of a purplish lilac tone. And I'm adding some blue as well. And I'm going to do these little dots for the middle bit of the flowers. Nicely imperfect, sort of circle-ish shapes. So yeah, very, very simple. And now the pre-mixed purplish, I'm going to make another batch of these 4-leafed flowers. I think this one you can see a bit better on the paper, on video. So I'm just making these same 4-leafed, it's kind of very airy, very nice, very simple looking flowers. Again, they're super simple to paint. I'm not an expert painter, or I'm not claiming to be one. I'm just having fun on the page, really. So I tried these yesterday on a watercolor paper. It looked quite nice, so today I'm trying it on in my journal. So I'm just prepping the pages, as I mentioned, just for writing on the other side. Yeah, adding a couple of these 4-leafed bodies. I'm dipping into more of the blue again. And I'm going to make the dots in the middle as well. Yeah, I'm quite happy with these. I don't think I'm going to be using the pigment Sakura markers, because it just doesn't feel like I want to do it. So I'm mixing up now deep blue and green and some yellow. Just dipping in the yellow and adding some leaves. A bit more water. So I think the leaves is going to be my favorite bit for this one, because it's quite cool tone, in my opinion. And also the tones change because I'm adding a couple of other paint tones. So yeah, what I did is I basically dipped into the yellow and then dipped into the pre-mixed green. So it kind of makes it a bit more different tonal. I don't know the word for it, but just playing around with it, having fun with it, and see what's the outcome looking like. Yeah, I know I'm painting flowers in the beginning of September, but I somehow felt like I just want to paint some flowers. I think next thing what I'm going to try to learn to paint, maybe with some YouTube tutorials, is just some leaves or just some fall colors, which I want to add to the next pages, because this part in my journal is the September bit, obviously, already. So yeah, now I mixed up a bit more deep, kind of sea blue greenish, and left out the yellow for some of the leaves. To just make it a bit different, because again, they're 2 tones of flowers, so I thought maybe they have different tones of leaves too. Adding the middle leaves, so the most dark one in the front. Again, yellow, and dipping in the green. I think that's my favorite of today, is I've discovered this not trick, but the way of dipping in, changing the color that way, and I quite enjoy it. Yeah, just trying to find out where I want to add some leaves, and then just moving on to the 2 flowers on the bottom. They need some little leaves too. Again, it's just pushing the brush, pushing the belly against the paper, and just adding a bit of another, like a stripe, or another what's it called, stroke, sorry. Yeah, and I'm adding the second color leaves too. Again, I'm not claiming that this is the right way to do it or anything. I'm just having fun, exploring it, and I'm still a student of watercolors as well, and I think it's just a nice way to explore and try different things, and yeah, adding some more sorry, some more leaves from the bottom. And squeezing in a little leaf in between the two. Yeah, I think in this page the most prominent bit is the leaves, because they're the darkest color. And I'm adding a bit of like a fake watercolor splash thingies with the tip of my brush. I just tried it out. I didn't know how it's gonna look. I don't think it looks very natural per se, but you know, just trying out something new. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just cleaning off my brush and pause the video a little bit for the painting to dry, and just adding a little bit of accents now on top of it on a bit of more dry watercolor. So it just gives it a more of a dimension, or at least I think it does. Not trying to overcomplicate it. I just thought I just want to dip in the brush again and add some little bits and bobs to it. So I'm just doing the accents on the leaves at the moment. Picked out another green and going on top of the other toned, more like green yellow tones on top as well, to add some accents for those bad boys as well. I'm just guessing, really. There's no, as I mentioned, no real technique or rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just thinking about it and adding the little accents as I go and as I see fit. So dried off my brush a little bit and dipping into the pink, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of accent to the flowers too. Just a bit of darker pink and purples. Again, quite random places, and imagining how the petals would probably look. And dipping in a bit more. Yeah, and that's it. That's pretty much the finished piece, and thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will probably, hopefully, see you next time.